We are going to shift gears a bit and talk now about a completely different model of juvenile justice than the adversarial one that we know. This other model is the one of restorative justice, or peacemaking. Advocates of this model argue that after many years of relying on legal mechanisms, it's clear that legal standards and rules are not sufficient to create healthy and ethical community behaviors. The legal system is too distant from daily life to be effective, and it's too complicated and abstract for citizens to feel they're a part of setting those standards or that they have a responsibility for enforcing those standards in the community. Advocates for restorative justice believe that this process encourages cooperation and voluntary engagement, which can establish better community standards for compliance with the law. Restorative justice changes the model from an adversarial one, meaning that it's the state who is charging the youth and the youth is presenting a defense, and that these two parties meet in court in an adversarial proceeding. It changes it from that to a model that's more cooperative and non-adversarial. This model takes into account the needs of the community, the needs of the victim, and the needs of the offender. Thus, by not creating two opponents and focusing on the needs of three parties, the proceedings tend to be less polarized. The outcome of the process is to seek restoration for all parties, not just the state representing the victims or the community. A main focus in this model is empathy developed for the offender. It also allows for community members to establish relationships with young people and for the adults in the community to have their fears of young people reduced. The process of restorative justice, especially the face-to-face processes, involves the telling of personal stories in intimate settings. This model is rapidly gaining acceptance in juvenile justice and adult justice systems. Instead of relying on legal interventions to deal with youth's misbehaviors and community conflicts, restorative justice groups are increasingly intervening and seeking to find reconciliation between offenders, victims, and the community. Some of the data has established that offenders that have participated in restorative justice programs are less likely to recidivate and commit future delinquent acts than those offenders who have not participated in these programs, but instead had gone through the regular juvenile justice processes. Within this chapter, there is some discussion about the prevention models that have relied upon social interaction process theories. There are not only prevention models that consider public safety and control, but also a number that take a different approach, those that are oriented more to public health models. Those programs that are empirically tested and validated to be reducing recidivism and making it less likely that at-risk youth engage in future delinquent acts are assessed in the Blueprints for Violence Prevention reports. Those programs that are proven and those that appear to be promising have individual reports published so that they can be replicated by communities who wish to establish those programs. One of the best programs that delivers the best bang for the buck is the peer mentoring program Big Brothers Big Sisters of America. This is a network of more than 500 local agencies across the U.S. that provides more than 145,000 one-to-one relationships between at-risk youth and volunteer adults. This is the largest mentoring program in the nation. While Big Brothers and Big Sisters is a well-known program, there are many other successful programs that are validated by the Blueprints publications. Some of those include Bullying Prevention Program, Functional Family Therapy, Life Skills Training, the Midwestern Prevention Project. These are just a few of the better-known programs in the area of juvenile justice and delinquency prevention.